but he did say, quote, "We will not allow criminal aliens to take root in our communities." This after overnight chaos where a protester near the Immigration Processing Center made contact with a vehicle. Now, this is cell phone video we received from a witness showing a man on a pickup truck's hood. The vehicle then drives away and the man falls off.
I believe that we will win!
Tensions spike as anti-ICE demonstrators come face to face with federal agents.
I believe that we will win!
Heated protesters try to block a federal immigration SUV as they hit the hood and yell at the driver.
This administration is only committed to intimidating people and working to strike fear into the hearts and to the minds of the people of this city.
And we're back, y'all. Thank you for watching today. Go ahead and hit that like button, my people. You know that it helps us out a ton. And of course, it helps you because it helps us keep bringing you these stories every day. Now, y'all, today we're going to be talking about Chicago, which is the ground zero for the ICE protests. I guess the city of Chicago and the state of Texas are like both ground zeros. But as it relates to the protest, Chicago definitely is ground zero, y'all. There is a facility called Broadview where there's people who just descend on Broadview. Sometimes it's a few dozen, sometimes it's up to 100 or more, and they're protesting. I don't know what they're protesting. That's the thing. I really don't know what they're protesting. You're going to see today that the protesters are just going to use vague catchphrases like protecting democracy and due process. I don't know that they know what they're out there protesting, except maybe they just don't like the fact that there are immigration laws in the country and that people are tasked with enforcing them. So you have people jumping up on immigration vehicles, confronting, scuffling. You have immigration officials shooting pepper balls at the protesters, and basically just overall mayhem that's happening. And in the midst of it all, you have your boy, the illustrious sub. There he is. Hey, look at him. He popped on the screen right on cue. The illustrious sub 10% approval rating mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson. He's gonna chime in with his timeless mayoral. Okay, that's the word. His timeless mayoral wisdom. So you know we have to hear from your boy. So y'all, without further ado, let's just go ahead and hop right into this chaos. But before we do, y'all, make sure you take care of your money. I'm not gonna make this a long one, y'all. Go to Paralegold, PARALEGOLD.com, or call 844-651-8334, 844-651-8334. If you have $50,000 to $100,000 or more in your retirement, protected from inflation, protected from monetary debasement. You're about to retire. Make sure your money's still there and it's still worth something by investing at least some of it in gold. Talk to our partners at Augusta Precious Metals. Go click the link now, get the free information, and protect your precious retirement.
Tanya, the head of U.S. Border Patrol, just landed in Chicago and could be heading here any minute now to the ICE Immigration Processing Facility here in Broadview. Take a look. Here's what Chief Michael Banks just posted on X, sharing a video of him speaking with someone with a microphone and another video showing troops in full uniform early this morning, the timestamp just before 3 a.m. Chief Banks didn't say where they were headed, but he did say, quote, "We will not allow criminal aliens to take root in our communities." This after overnight chaos where a protester near the Immigration Processing Center made contact with a vehicle, according to the Village of Broadview. A Broadview spokesperson says they are, quote, "treating this incident as we would any other traffic accident where a pedestrian was struck." Now, this is cell phone video we received from a witness showing a man on a pickup truck's hood. The vehicle then drives away and the man falls off. It's unclear what happened before the recording starts. The victim was taken to Loyola Hospital and is expected to be okay. Jose Osegueda tells us he was walking to a gas station when he says the truck drove up onto the sidewalk and hit his friend.
And as we were walking, like we hear like a car coming. One of my friends is like watch out. So we looked and he just ran over my friend.
Now, this fencing you see behind me that was put up by federal authorities has remained a point of contention. The Broadview Fire Department has demanded that ICE remove the fence, saying it could hamper their emergency response. We have reached out to ICE for a response to those demands and have not yet heard back.
So there you saw a protester that was hit by the truck or jumped up on the truck. Who knows these days, y'all? But you're gonna see soon, y'all. The protesters did not learn their lesson, because there's gonna be more where that came from. But first, let's hear from your boy, the illustrious sub 10% approved rating mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson. Let's hear what he has to say about this.
Hi, Mayor. ICE was seen floating down the Chicago River downtown today with several officers armed as well. Curious, obviously you've been in a meeting all day, but what does the administration know of that operation, if anything? And is there concern that that will be a regular appearance as the federal government continues their immigration mission in Chicago?
Well, look, the federal government is not communicating with me or our police department, and this is the problem that we have expressed from the very beginning, as this, president has moved to, quite frankly, behave such in an abrupt way that I don't really see how this is helping anyone, anywhere. Do not know what they're up to, and I think the last part that I can just indicate, it's just further proof that this administration is only committed to intimidating people and working to strike fear into the hearts, into the minds of the people of this city. We're going to continue to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. As difficult as this moment has been, we have not wavered in our commitment and support for our immigrant communities.
So the clashes are continuing. You have people who are putting their lives and their bodies on the line to stop the ICE trucks from moving in and out. Again, why are they doing this? Like, what is their actual if they had to verbalize in a logical and coherent, consistent manner their gripe, what would it be? Who knows? Stop tearing families apart is what they want. They want families to not be torn apart, I think, or something like that, y'all. Anyway, let's take a look.
Yeah, Terrell and Tani, that's exactly right. We're at the intersection of 25th and Harvard here in Broadview. What you're taking a live look at right now is essentially a standoff between these federal immigration agents and demonstrators who've been here since 5 o'clock in the morning. Really quickly, just to paint you a picture as to what's happened. These demonstrators were farther down this road right here, but have essentially been pushed back by federal agents. These agents have deployed a series of chemical agents to essentially push back the demonstrators to where they are right now, obviously leading to very tense moments today.
I believe that we will win!
Tensions spike as anti-ICE demonstrators come face to face with federal agents. Heated protesters try to block a federal immigration SUV as they hit the hood and yell at the driver, trying to reach the Broadview ICE processing facility. The SUV not stopping as emotions among demonstrators reach a boiling point after weeks of protests here.
This is not the type of action our law enforcement agencies, whether local or federal, should be conducting on U.S. soil.
Army veteran Roger Lonergan has demonstrated here for weeks. Lonergan says he's serving his country once again, not in the military, but alongside these protesters.
This is really what standing up for democracy looks like. It's not always putting on uniforms and going overseas.
Near the intersection of South 25th Avenue and Harvard, demonstrators could be seen gathering down the street near gates leading to the Broadview facility. At some points, a chemical gas was deployed among the crowd to disperse the protesters.
There are people that know they're there, that want to fight for due process, and that think this is wrong, and a lot of illegal actions and unknown conditions inside.
Federal agents installed tall gates on Beach Street to block demonstrators from reaching the entrance. Today's demonstration comes 1 week after protesters and federal agents clashed literally right outside the immigration facility.
No, back here live in Broadview, while that package was airing, there was a red federal immigration SUV that just pulled into this driveway right here. These demonstrators surrounded it, yelling expletives. They've also been yelling at local law enforcement here as well this morning. Now, we did reach out to ICE officials for comment on what's happening right now, but we just have not yet heard back. We also know that one person was detained, one demonstrator was arrested during this protest earlier this morning.
So ICE, you know, they've been trying to respond any way they can with less than lethal force, as they should. So they've been taking to just shooting people with pepper balls and pepper pellets and that sort of thing. So that is where this whole thing has devolved into kind of a low level conflict battle where you have protesters obstructing ICE and overall just trying to put their bodies on the line, and then ICE shooting at them with pepper balls.
And with developing news, 2 people have been detained during protests just this morning outside of the ICE facility in Broadview. Darius Johnson live for us there, where pepper balls have been shot at protesters several times. Darius, you are in your protective gear. What's happened within just the last hour?
Hey there, Marie. Good morning to you. Within the last hour, we saw 2 protesters who were detained. Those protesters were part of that 25th Avenue protest that's taking place, trying to block vehicles. They were then brought here to the ICE processing facility, and we saw them being taken through the gates. At the exact same time, there is a lot of tear gas, CS gas, and rubber bullets that are being deployed. That CS gas is meant to impact your breathing and a lot of other things, making it hard for protesters to continue. What we have been seeing right here, now that that fencing is up, whenever protesters touch the fence, that's when they are being hit with those chemical agents by the agents who are on the roof. We've even seen one protester who is continuously showing his backside, mooning the agents, and then being hit with pepper balls at that point. Take a look at this video that we've gathered from the ground here. This is the scene outside the ICE processing facility here on Beach Street. And since Tuesday, ICE agents installed this new fencing, which Broadview officials have been calling for it to come down. That new fencing is now preventing any protesters from blocking any vehicles to get through the gates. That is exactly what has caused many of those tensions, those heated moments, the escalations that we've seen every Friday for the past couple of weeks, when it leads to those chemical agents being deployed. Now, we just learned from DHS since September 19th that a total of 17 people have been arrested for protesting here in Broadview. Now take a look at our video from the chopper that we've been able to gather. This is that other protest taking place on 25th Avenue. These are the protesters who are essentially trying to stop any ICE vehicles from moving in or out of the facility with detainees. That's where a lot of the clashes are taking place today. In the last couple of hours, we were able to speak to one woman and her sister who were both here protesting this morning for the very first time, and they did not expect to come express their First Amendment rights and get close to the gates before ICE agents started deploying pepper balls at them for what they say was absolutely nothing.
We were all standing behind the gates and just with our signs up and chanting, very peaceful, and they just started firing. They were on the roof. They were the sharpshooters that are up there. There's 2 people up there, and they just started shooting at us, like, for no reason at all.
So the battles do continue. I'm sure we will see many, many more stories of this. So what we're going to do, y'all, let's go ahead and ask the question of the day. What happens next? I mean, the protesters have not been able to mobilize tens of thousands of people. ICE continues to move and do what they have to do. The big, beautiful bill just gave ICE a huge budgetary increase for immigration services in general. They're going to be able to hire thousands and thousands and thousands more people. They're going to be able to get new equipment. They're going to be so funded. They're going to be better funded than armies, seriously, than armies in other countries. So I don't think that these protests, though they might be annoying, I don't think they're enough to stop anything. They're enough to get some headlines and to get some images on the news, but they're not really enough to stop anything. So what do you think? Will the protests swell? Will there be a mass movement, or will they peter out, or will they just continue to be pesky little people who are exercising their First Amendment rights, and kudos to them, but not really able to change anything? Let me know down in the comments, y'all. But before you do, please stop, hit that share button. Y'all, I love when you share this video out. It helps the channel grow, and we really do. We owe it all to you. So share this video over email, text message, WhatsApp, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook. I said Facebook. All of your favorite social mediums. And if you're not a subscriber, please do subscribe. Y'all, if you are thinking about what can I do with my money during this uncertain time, think about gold, y'all. Gold, gold's been man's best monetary friend for what, 5,000 years, something like that, maybe more. It's seen the ups, the downs, the rounds. It's the oldest, longest, strongest, hardest money that mankind has ever known. Go to our first link down in the description, Paralegold, PARALEGOLD.com, and get information of protecting your retirement with gold. And speak to our partners at Augusta Precious Metals at 844-651-8334. Thank y'all for watching. Love y'all, and we'll see you back in the next one.
Thanks, Mayor.
You're welcome.
Do you mind if we jump over to James Comey? I know it was busy inside and outside chambers today, and this is unprecedented with two charges for obstruction and alleged false statements.
Yeah, look, this is further proof that this president has used, the sanctity of our departments within government to politicize them. Look, he said it. He's going to go after his political enemies. He's politicized the, United States military, the National Guard. The president is investigating me for hiring too many black people. Now he's threatening to withhold dollars because we want black children to be successful. I really want to call him a name. But my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ is asking me to just stay saved. Jeff?
Good evening, Mayor. How you doing?
For a minute there, you almost had me. I'm better now. I had to call on the name of Jesus again.